So I just recorded for an hour without realizing my mic wasn't on. And a horrible, horrible sound came through with my mic that was apparently on my webcam that I thought I muted. And my inputs are labeled wrong, so that's funny. Time to check that before I stop recording. I'm going to try and make this as brief as possible because apparently I was talking for an hour and I didn't fucking realize it before. But I'm going to make this brief just because I think it needs to be talked about. We all know why you're here. I don't need to explain anything. This has to stop right here, right now. We all just wanted bars. We all just wanted a cool moment in hip-hop. Hip-hop has not been doing great thus far. Hip-hop is not what it used to be. Hip-hop is not selling like it used to. Hip-hop is dying. Right? At least sales are going down. Numbers-wise, hip-hop is dying. For a lot of reasons. If you're ever confused about anything I say in this video, please just go watch all of FT Signifier's stuff. I got off of work. Drake and Kendrick had dropped while I was driving home. And then I watched FT Signifier's live stream. The whole thing, front to back. I got the notification, I hopped in. It wasn't a long thing. Go watch that. Come back, watch this. So you have context. Okay? I'll wait. You can pause the video, open a new tab. Whatever. Go back to your watch history after this. I'll wait. Okay, are you back? Great. This is gonna be unedited, unscripted. So, sorry, but I have to talk about this. And great that I just ranted for an hour, so now I know the order to which I want to talk. The audience dictates hip-hop. This is a direct response to what FT Signifier is saying, so please go watch that. This is not the day that hip-hop died. This is the day hip-hop will change. Whether that be for one person, whether that be for a lot of people. Whether that be for Drake, whether that be for Kendrick, whether that be for everybody who is like Drake. Because, one, I don't think Kendrick's lying. At all. I don't think Kendrick's lying at all. Kendrick wins. 100% no contest. For exactly the reasons FT Signifier said. Which I will call him FD from now on. FD said that everything FD said was true. Okay? Everything FD said was true. Kendrick, bar for bar, won. Kendrick, reveal for reveal, won. Kendrick is more reliable a source. Kendrick has better chess moves. Kendrick's just better. No contest. Drake fans, you can yell at me all you want. It's over for you. It's over for you, boy. And I like Drake. I like the diss tracks he put out. Probably more than FD. They're good. They're standard diss tracks. They're above average, for sure. But Kendrick's different. And I love Kendrick. I like Drake, but I love Kendrick. So this is biased. I will 100% say that. But in beefs, Drake is, he's got a win under his belt. He's got a loss under his belt, but he's got a win. So it evens out. And Kendrick had not beefed with anybody before. So I genuinely did not know if he was going to do well at all. I had no idea that he would be this good. He's too good. He is so good, he might get both him and Drake killed. This might be it for both of them. Because that's the only way Drake can come back. Either he dips out and it's over and he stops, or he gets taken to jail for underage allegations, or he dies by Kendrick's hand, or he goes to jail for murdering Kendrick. Those are the only 4 options. That's it. And I'm sorry for not looking at the camera. It's kind of bright, but I'm looking up myself on my screen. So, sorry, not sorry. The idea here is to say that this thing has to stop, because we all just wanted bars and now it's gone too heavy. Now it's too much. Like, this is way more than Pusha T ever did. Because Pusha T did one reveal. And he didn't really say anything on the story about it. He just basically said, "You have a son, go home." And he did. He tried to deny it first, but he did. Drake did. And he lost. He took the L. He decided not to respond. Good on you. Pusha T would never have killed Drake. Pusha T doesn't even have a number on Spotify as of right now. As of today, he does not even have a whatever in the world. Ice Spice does. She's 382. That was from a conversation I had with a coworker today because we were talking about it. Kendrick's like 28, probably more now. Drake's like number 3. I think the only 2 people above him are like Taylor and The Weeknd. But whatever. Anyway, point being, in terms of just straight hip hop, Kendrick won. The only way to go now is violence or to stop it. Second Child does a lot. Clearly, Kendrick has somebody with Drake feeding him stuff by the picture, by what he's saying, by... I don't know. I just don't... I don't want anything more. It's not fun anymore. It's gross. I actually feel sick. Because this is like monumental. This is history. These two have made history. Kendrick has lined up every piece on his board, and he is one move away from checkmating Drake in like 5 different ways. Right? There's mating one like 17 different ways on the board. Right? So Drake's cooked. I don't know what's going to happen with these two. I very much hope there's real violence does not happen. But it's on the table. 100% on the table. I hope it doesn't. I hope they just end it here. I hope somebody just takes an L or just says, it's not worth it anymore. Whatever. Right? I hope this is the most we do. Because any nastier is bad for everyone involved. That being said, the evolution. Again, go watch FD's video. He argues this is the death of hip-hop. This is the day hip-hop died. And this will go down in history as that day because of the monumental changes to the morality structure that we ignore in hip-hop. Misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, the Kanye's neo-Nazism for some people, sexual abuse allegations, sex trafficking, underage women, the drugs, the gang violence to some extent, like all of the problems in hip-hop have to be addressed. And they will probably be addressed because of this. Because now the entire world is like, oh fuck. This is real. The biggest artist in the world might be a pedophile. And he probably is. Not gonna lie, he might be. I don't know. Maybe it's not him. Maybe it's people in his circle. But to say he's complicit in it is to say that he is. That he's okay with it happening. Which is pretty bad. But something has to come of this. I don't know if it's the end of anybody's careers. I really don't know what it is. I have no clue. But what I would counter as a hip hop artist, as a hip hop fan, and as a person who I think has a very, very good intuition, this is not the death of hip hop. This is the fundamental change in hip hop that I hope is for the better. Let me explain. For all the things that hip hop is, it has never been clean. Never. Besides when it was very, very first started. When it was just disc jockeys in basements at house parties doing breakbeats because it sounded fun. When it was very much disco. When it was very much funk. When it was very much just an offshoot of an already popular, done to death art form, piece of music. The disco party era of the 70s and 80s of hip-hop, the birth of hip-hop, very all-inclusive. It was very much more appealing to white people than it was even now. That it was very much the new, fun, exciting thing that young people were doing. That people were excited to engage with. I'm sorry, it's 3 a.m. Again, I've talked for an hour and then I realized everything was bad and too long, so I came on here again to do it all again. So hip hop is a party thing. And then now it's not anymore. The genre changes, like everything. And I don't believe that hip hop, even now, even with this big scandal that's probably going to come up from this, right? I don't think hip hop will die in a day. Sales are down for hip hop, I guess, until right now. Maybe. That the excitement is back, at least up until this very moment. There are indications to say that hip hop and what is popular with music right now is changing. I believe hip hop and its stylings and its influence is so dominant and so influential, we will never really get rid of hip hop because the audience won't let it die. And that's the fundamental issue. If the audience has been okay with Kanye being a neo-Nazi, with many people in hip-hop being more right-wing, with Drake being a sexual predator and moving incorrectly, with J. Cole having a transphobic bar on his most recent song, which he did not apologize for. He apologized for the diss on Kendrick, which good on him. He probably saved himself from this. But he still got a transphobic bar even for him being the conscious man in rap, right? For all of these things, the homophobia, the misogyny, right? The first half of Like That is one of the most misogynistic hip-hop songs to ever fucking exist. It just gets overshadowed by Kendrick's verse, which starts this whole beef thing. Which is a little hypocritical. Which I think Kendrick kind of knows that. But the point is that something has to give. Not all of hip-hop and not every single thing in hip-hop has to change. Because Drake is a bad person, right? That will not kill it. It may become more niche, and that might be a death in a way. But what will replace it? What is the new world going to look like? If we don't just look at the death of hip-hop, what is the thing that's going to replace it? Right? Because the audience still, in one day, will not be like, no more hip-hop. The people who are complicit in all of these horrible things, the audience that has ignored all of the problems with hip-hop over the years, decades even, there will never be a time where those people suddenly become conscious and just say no more. Never happen. There will still be people in hip hop who make the exact same type of music as they did before. It just will. They may not be as popular with a fracturing in the genre, but they will still be around. Especially since hip hop is so entrenched in this idea of hypermasculinity that it is dominated almost 100% of its aspects for the entirety of its lifespan, prior to, even during the house party kind of era of things, when it was just more of dance music, where hip hop was just breakbeats and cool shit, and rapping was just another instrument in the ensemble and not the focus and not the lyricism. And no, there were lyricists, I'm sure. Can I name any off the top of my head? No, I'm 20 something. I don't know these people like old heads do, and old heads do. I'm sure FD probably can't even name most of them, right? Probably the real big people like Grandmaster Flash or something like that, but not until Rakim, really, and Public Enemy and Run DMC do people start looking like the more manlier, a little bit more problematic type of hip hop that we see today. Now, back then, conscious and hypermasculine also went hand in hand, so there was a change there too, where the kayfabe, again, if you don't understand anything I'm talking about, go watch FD's videos on hip hop, especially the Kid and Play video, especially the Drake video, especially just everything he has on hip hop. Go watch it. It's just good. The kayfabe of hip hop will always be around, and it is so dominant and entrenched in the culture of it that even I, a person who only does it for the entertainment value, that many rap artists only do for the entertainment value, have fallen into it, because that's what it feels like the right thing to do is. Why does it feel like it's the right thing to do? Well, the perpetuating of it by, one, other rappers, and two, the audience who keep consuming it. And clearly it's worked. People get rich off of this, like Kodak Black, like Gunna, and no tea, no shade to them, but you kind of have to realize that some of the biggest artists in the world, even Drake still, have this type of messaging in their music. And they're some of the richest people on the planet, the most famous people on the planet. Why? Because people listen. People either want it or don't care. So, as long as it keeps making money, people will do it. I'm sure people will do it even if it doesn't make money. But to what extent, right, is kind of the issue. To be honest, I'm not totally sure. I'm sure FD also doesn't know, right? Which, if you're seeing this, FD, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening. Even in this horribly unedited video that I just wanted to put up because I kind of don't really have too much to say about it. I just wanted to respond to you. The point is that in its place, after hip-hop gets cleaned out in this scenario, where it does, and it may just be that nothing happens, right? Maybe nothing comes of this. We don't know. In the event that it does, and hip-hop is cleaned out, what happens then? And is that a bad thing? Personally, I think it would be better as an art form, as a piece of storytelling media, if the story of hip hop is not told by and through a bunch of very horrible, problematic people. I think hip hop is stronger as just a genre. And rapping can be a subgenre of that. I think hip hop has the potential to be way bigger in terms, maybe not of money, because it's already kind of the biggest thing ever in terms of music. But I think in terms of storytelling, in terms of lyricism, in terms of writing ability, hip hop to me as an art form has always been so interesting, has always been so deep, and able to have the most vivid storytelling and the most interesting way of doing it, right? Combining the greatest poets with the greatest music, putting it together to make something that deeply moves people. And I mean on a change their outlook on life level. And all this to say is that, would it be so bad if hip hop stopped being what it is and became what it could be, and opened itself up and broadened its horizons, and women, queer people, trans people, people of color, still black people, of course, even more white people, all came together, maybe not together as in, but as a greater community, as a genre of a community, right? Came together. And everyone was truly invested in the art. Now, there will always be people who are munchers. There will always be people who are posers. There will always be people who are just in it for the money. But I think if people stop, and what comes of this is that we can no longer ignore those types of horrible people in hip hop, and we cannot just let it slide anymore. I think I would be relieved as a listener and as an audience member to hold my negative opinion about an artist and feel like I can escape them. Like, I stopped listening to Kanye as soon as he came out as a neo-Nazi. I took him all of my playlists. And unless I had to, like, if somebody else throws on Kanye, if it's a good Kanye song, I'm not going to tell them to not. Right? It's their right. If they don't care, they don't care. But I will never give my view, my vote, and my dollar to Kanye in any context, because I think he's a horrible person, and that's my right to think that. But clearly, Kanye, for as much as his career is tanked, is still a very influential, high-profile, rich person, public figure. Why? Because people keep giving him money to do what he does. Whatever it is that he does now. Apparently a light 3, according to Fantano. That Vulture's whatever the fuck he's doing. I don't know. Who cares? Only Kanye fans. And I mean hardcore, like, ignore the neo-Nazism Kanye fans. But wouldn't it be great in an ideal world where, or at least in a better world, that we can all hope to achieve, which I think we should all strive to achieve, where people still had the hip-hop of today, right? I don't think that's going to go away, really. It might, but I think for the entertainment value that it provides, I don't know if the cleaning out would mean not having the hip-hop of today. Would it really be so bad if it was gone? Are we just feeling like we miss it because that's kind of all hip-hop has been for like most of its life? Or are we really missing it because there's good value in art like that? I don't think it's up for me or anybody else to necessarily say. I think it goes deeper than that. I think it's just a feeling thing. But the point being is, at what point do we say what is good and what is bad in hip-hop? What does cleaning out really mean? What does the death of hip-hop mean? Because hip-hop's not going away. It may turn into different things, but what does that mean? And when does it stop becoming hip-hop? That's only something we can do in hindsight, I think. And also, people will try to discredit new stuff all the time because it is different. I mean, I've said it in songs that aren't released yet, but I've said it in songs that are released of mine. And what I'm getting at is Eminem and Logic and Joyner Lucas and remember Kamikaze and Homicide by Logic. These songs, this wave of fuck mumble rap, of like fuck the new age, it's not real hip hop. What did that accomplish? Can anybody tell me? What did that accomplish? Because to me, all it accomplished was giving kids like me an idea that there was real art and there was wrong art. That there was a right and wrong way to achieve art. Which is weird and problematic. And also, why? Because people aren't as popular. Because people are going through hard times and they're jealous of people's successes because they feel like they deserve it. When clearly the audience is saying, you don't. Because your art does not appeal to us anymore. Either change or get used to the fact that you're out. If you want to stay relevant, cater to the audience. It's what Drake's been doing for 20 years. Right? Eminem does not do that. Eminem has done the same thing he's always been. He's just gotten more lyrical with it. Like, you know what I mean? At least Logic has gone back to his roots, and people respect him for it, and he's trying to do something different. And Logic still has his fans, there's nothing wrong with that. But there was a time where it was, yeah, fuck the drug rap, fuck the mumble rap as an art, just like in general. Not necessarily about doing it, but like making art about it is like weird and bad. And it may be a misinterpretation on my part, but that's the influence that it had, where people started going, this is incorrect art, which saying art is incorrect is wild. There's, maybe you could have done it better, but to say that it's not good and not real, I think that's a little damaging. And I could go on and on about things like this. But again, to wrap up, because I don't want to talk for an hour, and I don't think you want to watch for an hour. At what point does hip-hop become the thing it can be? And can it? Or is it forever to be like this? Because we cannot stop letting it be that way. At what point do we say rap beefs have only ever ruined people because we wanted some quick, exciting entertainment? Which, not to discredit the history of why it is popular, about the hypermasculine, the competitiveness, these things are traditional. They are traditional in hip-hop, they are traditional in black music, they are traditional in African culture. Again, FD. I've learned this from him. Kind of sad that I had to learn it from him, to be honest, but that's a different story. But this is what hip-hop is. And it doesn't have to go away. I just think the snakes have to go out of Ireland, to be honest. And to wrap up, this is what I believe hip-hop can be and what it might be very soon. Is that this whole thing, King Kendrick killing the Drake, as in the dragon, the kingdom might explode. And who's going to be saved and who's going to be affected, and will there even be an explosion? Will any of them even, will the king die? Will the dragon die? Who is to say? We will just have to sit and watch. There's a good chance nothing happens. There's also a very good chance something does. I cannot know, I cannot say. I only hope no one dies from this, no one is hurt from this. I really hope that this just ends where it is, and if something changes, I hope it's for the better. This has been Lord Zuko. Please, again, go watch FD, Signifier. Check out my music if you want. I have a 4th album coming out soonish. I have a video essay on Netflix's Avatar coming out soonish. Sooner than the album, probably. But, yeah, that one will be scripted. So, and well produced. But I just needed to get all of these thoughts out, these feelings off my chest. And hopefully this wasn't hard to listen to. Again, I managed to get an hour of my ramblings down to 30 minutes, which is good for me, because if I had a script, it would probably be like 10. But the amount of effort that would put in, I would never make this video. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that. Go check out my music if you want. It's hip-hop. Go watch FD Signifier. Dude's great. By the way, FD, if you're seeing this, if you're watching this, I don't know why you would, but maybe you did. Maybe you got it recommended to you. I don't know. Love you. Love your stuff. Keep doing what you're doing and educating. I really do greatly appreciate it in a world where the education and spreading of black culture, black ideas, and the suppression of anything that is not deemed correct is very frustrating. And as a lover of black entertainment, music, culture in America, and a lover of mythologies and history, and I'm sorry for getting a little emotional, but I just very greatly appreciate what you and your honestly your companions, like foreign man in a foreign land, are doing when governments will not, when other people will not, and when it is harder but also easier than ever to find things like this. I stumbled upon your channel on a, honestly, I don't know how. YouTube just recommended me a gem one day. I watched, I loved it, and I've watched basically every video ever since. A great inspiration to me as a content creator, which I have been trying to get better at. Looking at my upload schedule right now, it's not consistent at all, but trying to work on it. And also for politics and everything. If you watched this far, thank you. Appreciate it. Hope you had a good night's rest after all of this. I hope you do genuinely engage and get to think about this, in my opinion, on what you said about the death of hip hop, because I think it's a good conversation to have. And if you want to reach out and talk for any reason, hit me up, dude. My Instagram's in my socials, and I'll put in the link to the description below. End card should be popping up right about now. But yeah. Thank you all for watching. Lord Zuko signing out. See ya.